You aren't.
Well,
You're nervous, aren't you?
no, I'm not nervous. I just want to collect my thoughts and make sure everything I say is understood properly. Because it's obvious the World Wrestling Federation here doesn't listen to me, and they don't care about me. Yes, I am a gifted athlete and a wrestler, but I don't particularly care to wrestle, and they know that. The whole thing is between Andre and the Hellbilly and Stutt and Bundy. And just because some goon at 7'4" and 500 pounds and some dumb hick from Mud Lick put their two heads together with an IQ of 10, they want me in the ring. They want to get their hands on Stutt. They want to pick up that money for a slam. They want to get rid of Bundy because they're jealous of his size and massiveness. And they want to get rid of me because they're jealous of me. My whole life, everybody's been jealous of me. Everybody's been worried about me my whole life. They've done this to me. They've done this to me. Don't you call me Weasel either, pal.
No, I didn't.
You
I said
said
you're
it.
paranoid.
No, you called me Weasel, and I heard you.
I said you're trying to weasel out of this match.
No, I didn't try to weasel out. I just don't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay, it is Tuesday. We're a little late, but time for another episode of the Wrestling Guild, where we talk all about. I dropped my pen. We talk about GFW Impact Wrestling. Some news I think came out today, or there's some rumors that they were going to do away with the GFW letters altogether. I don't know. I haven't actually read anything real about it. Not from any news site that is credible, at least.
No.
So I don't know if they're changing back to TNA or whatever they're doing, but we'll see what develops. What is decided, though, or what is true, is that Jim Cornette is not with TNA anymore. He's not going to. His contract was only really to Bound for Glory, so he's going to be there in Bound for Glory, but then he's not going to be part of Impact anymore.
So who is going to replace him?
I don't think they're going to have, because what I understood is that they're going to try to go away from having like an authority character, like Bruce Pritchard was and like Jim Cornette was, and they really only brought in Jim Cornette so he could like kind of get the ball rolling and fire Bruce Pritchard. And I guess Bruce Pritchard is probably going to come back as a heel manager, like we were talking about. So as it is now, it's Sanjay Dutt and Scott D'Amore that is writing the show together with a guy named John Gaborick, who was in TNA before. So they're just going to, I guess they're going to focus more on matches and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Pretty much.
That's what we've been seeing these last.
There's
been more matches. Yeah. And even though that there's been mostly matches, there's actually been quite a bit. There's quite an eventful episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, my name is Chris Mary Hultman. With me, I have Nick Anderson, as always.
Boom.
And we're going to talk about Impact that was that aired on the 14th of September, 2017. As of yet, no word on the global network.
Oh yeah, they didn't really.
They haven't said anything yet. What they have done is that they announced where Bound for Glory, their big pay-per-view, is going to take place. How did you feel about that? They were teasing that there'd be many different places that it could be. A little bit. I really didn't think that it was going to be in India, but
it doesn't really. Sure. Go for it. I don't really mind. But at the same time, I'm pretty surprised that they would put it in India, out of all the places.
Yeah, but they're putting it in Canada. Didn't you see? You saw the announcement. They put it on Canada.
Was it India?
No, there was a bunch of different options. They announced yesterday that it's going to be in Ottawa in
okay.
Canada.
Oh, okay.
Because Anthem is from Canada. You're an expert on Canada now.
Yeah, well, I am kind of. Yeah. But okay, all right. So they're shooting it over there.
Yes.
which makes a lot more sense, as I was saying right now.
Hopefully, we'll get a good crowd too.
Well, yeah, hopefully, because in India they were paying people, so. I mean, I kind of mind when they pay people because it's not really free.
Well, I mean, when they're in the Impact Zone, those people get it for free.
Oh,
That's part. I guess they pay maybe the entrance fee for Universal Studios, and then they go.
But
see wrestling.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, you need real fans.
Yes, that's the problem, and that's why they're so quiet, and that's why they have that. They have that piped in crowd sounds. Like this week, you could hear. They had like Johnny Impact coming in, and the crowd went wild, but it was only like the crowd noise that went wild. It was so obvious.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, because these fake, I mean, like we had in India when you were paying people.
Yeah, but they were at least excited. I mean, you could.
Yeah, they were excited, but at the same time, you kind of feel that they were fake. Cause,
yeah, well,
like,
they were fake excited. Yeah,
exactly. Sure. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that improves. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It won't. I don't think it'll improve as long as they're staying in the Impact Zone in Orlando. I think they have to kind of go out. But anyway, where we digress. This show opens with Lashley arriving with American Top Team again.
Oh God, here he goes again.
But it's just so weird because I still, like we said last time, they've been taping this so many times. So what, do they go out, leave, and come back all the time? That's all they're filming?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, Bobby comes in with the Top Team and they just attack like a backstage tech dude.
Yeah, they're a little violent.
Just like kids. I mean, they're adults. Come on.
They're MMA fighters. You know how MMA fighters
but what did that tech guy do?
Nothing. He was a nerd.
What did he deserve?
You need to beat a nerd. Makes you feel like a tough guy.
So, yeah.
Well, anyway, we open the match with Braxton Sutter coming to the ring with Ali versus Garza Jr. How did you like this? This was actually the first solo gig we saw from Garza Jr. Mm-hmm. How did you like this match?
I think Garza does very well by himself. To be honest, I think Braxton Sutter. I like Braxton Sutter. He is a good wrestler, but in this match, he was a bit slacking.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously he was supposed to lose, but I mean, I thought it was a good match overall. Mm-hmm. Garza Jr. Wins with a moonsault of the second rope.
That was nice.
I was surprised. I didn't think that Garza Jr. was going to win here, but what it does, I think it furthers the feud. Mm. Had Braxton Sutter won here, he was kind of trying to avenge the fact that Garza Jr. was macking on his girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if he had won, that it would have been at the end of it. Now, because Garza Jr. won, you kind of fuel because Braxton Sutter needs a program. He needs to do something because he hasn't been doing anything really. He's just been walking around being pissed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now he was pissed again. He thought that Ali kind of got in the way. She checks on Braxton, and he yells at her, and then he comes back. She's like, "Hey, baby, I'm sorry," and she's not having it.
She was really mad.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you if your boyfriend yelled at you?
Yeah, but that's what boyfriends do, don't they?
They do. Is that what
I guess from what I've seen in people, they do. You never see the girlfriend yelling at the boy.
Really?
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of girl.
Yeah. Not Ali.
No, Ali. Yeah.
Ali wouldn't.
Not Ali, yeah.
Rosemary, maybe.
Oh yeah, Rosemary.
Sienna,
she
definitely.
Would kill you,
but Ali, no, she's a good girl. Okay, so that was it, and then we go straight into a grand. So this was the thing. There was quite a few. It was like 3 matches in a row, real quick. So Grand Championship match, El Hijo del Fantasma versus EC3 for the Grand Championship. I thought that this match was really good.
It was great.
I mean, the thing is that there haven't really been any bad Grand Championship matches. Mm-hmm. They're all good, and I think it's the format of the whole thing. You can do so many different things with it, and I'm glad that they kept the Grand Championship match, or the Grand Championship, after Billy Corgan left the company.
Well, it's something different, pretty much.
Yeah.
You can feel that this is like a very special match. It's about a big title and whatnot. So,
How did you enjoy it?
Well, overall, I think EC3 did really, really great. But I am still so impressed by Phantasma.
Yeah.
I mean, he does great. I mean, from all the other guys like Octagoncito and whatnot, and other,
Octagoncito, you're throwing Octagoncito out there.
they have like similar names, so it's like those guys. Phantasma does really, really well, and he always impresses me how great he is, and that's what I mean. He's standing up to EC3.
Yeah,
not a lot of people can do that.
No.
So yeah.
The thing is here is that Hector Guerrero, who's a representative of AAA, is there as one of the judges. And what happens is that it's a split decision. In the end, EC3 wins one round, Phantasma wins one round, and then it comes down to the wire. EC3 gets one score, Phantasma gets one score, and then it comes down to Hector Guerrero. You think that Hector Guerrero is going to give it to Phantasma, but he doesn't. He gives it to EC3, and then that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
He attacks Hector Guerrero. And then he kind of goes back and starts beating EC3.
Yeah, and then you have another wrestler coming out.
Yes, the guy that we're talking, Pagano.
Oh yeah, Pagano.
And he looks like like a fun guy.
Scary, creepy guy, but okay, yeah, fun guy.
Well, the thing is that you have it in the movie theaters. You had like the clown scares last year, remember?
Oh yeah.
And then you have American Horror Story that has a clown theme this year as well. And then Pagano, it's clowns everywhere.
Yeah.
Clowns everywhere.
But yeah, he looked terrifying. But he was hitting EC3, right?
Yeah. So the thing is EC3? Is he going to be like a face now? Is he turning face, or is he just going to be EC3? Because the thing is that we haven't seen the EC3 kind of like I'm Carter, blah blah blah. That we haven't seen that whole thing play out.
No.
There hasn't been a resolution. Maybe there won't be a resolution. They're going into a program which will be AAA versus GFW. So this is obviously the start of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eddie Edwards comes in for the save at least. So that means that we'll probably see Phantasma and Pagano versus EC3 and Edwards.
That could be a great match.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that. Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully you will.
No, hopefully.
Well, EC3 at least keeps the title. This was good, setting some stuff up. And I think this was like we've said, like this is the third episode, which has been a lot of setup.
Yeah, because, I mean, a lot of storylines have ended.
Well, yeah, they haven't even kind of started.
Well, yeah.
Well, the thing is that what we've seen is Garza Jr. versus Braxton Sutter. Hopefully that continues. Here's a start between AAA and GFW, hopefully. And then we have LAX in Tijuana. We get right into it. This was very different. Speaking of different, Grand Championship being different, this was filmed completely different.
Yeah.
How did you like? I mean, first of all, we'll just talk about that. LAX is in Tijuana. They're talking about they're partying at like some strip club.
Yeah, that was
selling LAX beer. You like that, huh?
I like that. That was good stuff.
It's just like you're thinking of going to Tijuana next year.
Okay, let's go. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a preview what LAX was doing. I mean,
they were just chilling.
There was just pretty much chilling.
Yeah, and then OVE arrive. And what they kind of LAX or Conan throws a wrench into the whole thing because it's not going to be a one-on-one match with LAX. It's going to be a four-way with, as if I understood this, Ultimo Maldito, Pirata Morgan, maybe, Archangel Divino, and Black Diamond were the names of the other team people.
These guys.
They're probably indie wrestlers. I haven't heard of these guys. And I've heard of Mexican wrestlers, but they're probably part of the Crash promotion. I'm sure they're famous in Mexico.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's the whole thing, and it's kind of fun. I like the setup of the match because it was more like an action movie than it was.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I've heard people online talking about that. This is how they should tape the show all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely better than before. I mean, from what we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting setup, and having kind of like the effects, and it looked more real and stuff like that. And Although we didn't actually see that much of the match itself.
That was my issue. I wanted to see it a
Yeah,
little more.
I would have wanted to see more of the match, but maybe TV rights or whatever wasn't
yeah.
right. But anyway, I could see them at least doing a couple of more like this if they filmed more of the match. If we got to see more of the match,
Yeah.
do you? I mean, did you like the style of?
I definitely like this style, but like you say, I mean, that was kind of more of a sneak peek. I mean, I want to see a bit more
and maybe we would if we saw the GF if in the global wrestling network, because they were talking about that they're going to have shows from their partner promotions.
Yeah.
So maybe that we'll see more of that. I liked it. LAX win after Homicide hits whoever that was.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but
with the Gringo Killer.
That was beautiful.
Yes. And then they kind of OVE confronts LAX afterwards. And Conan threatens them.
Yeah,
but it doesn't seem like it's over because the OVE were talking about that they were going to go to their clubhouse.
They've got some balls.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Just
the thing is, we've been talking about that we want to see more of OVE. We want to see more OVE wrestling.
Yeah,
and we didn't get to see that, but it seemed like this was really good. It was a really good match, and maybe we'll see. Yeah, then we get to Grado. Speaking of resolutions, we had a resolution here. Grado versus a jobber, William Weeks, who we've seen before. This time is actually you get to see... it's not often that you get to see Grado being dominant.
Well, he's facing some shitty-ass Williams.
Yeah.
He found, out on the street.
But he faced Trevor Lee there in that one. That was the guy Trevor Lee brought in, I think. Remember?
Oh, yeah. It's the same guy.
Yeah. Anyway, so what did you think of Grado showing his stuff?
It's... Oh... I mean, I don't see Grado as a wrestler. I see him more as a clown, but okay. I mean, he was okay. But I can never take Grado seriously. That's my shows. I always start, laughing because he looks like an idiot.
But he wins at least with with his finishing maneuver, the wee boot.
It was cool, I guess.
He grabs the mic and then thanks the audience. And then what happens?
Well, you have Parks coming out. Finally, I was about to say, is this guy actually going to leave the company? But of course, you have Parks coming out and makes up a deal pretty much. Sets up him for work. I mean, he is apparently Park has started a sports entertainment division, and Grado's going to be his first client, which is interesting. We'll see where this goes. Maybe we'll be seeing, when the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy were part of Impact or TNA, they went to different promotions and filmed them fighting and stuff like that in different promotions. Maybe they'll do the same with Grado. Maybe he'll go around to all these indie places and fight. That'd be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, that would
I'm thinking that Dick Justice would be an excellent client for Park and Park. They could build a stable.
It would just be a bit cringe.
But it would be interesting to see where the story goes.
True. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure.
Because Park was saying that he was going to do all these things for him.
Oh, yeah.
Get him work, get him paid.
What is it? Park and Parkinson?
Park and Park.
Park and Park?
Yeah.
Is that the company's name?
That's his law firm, is Park and Park.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And I don't know, because in one, when Joseph Park first came out, there was this angle where Eric Young was trying to reveal to Joseph Park that he was really Abyss. Because in storyline they are the same person. They are the same person, but in the storyline they are also the same person. Like Joseph Park is Abyss's kind of alter ego.
Yeah.
Although Joseph Park refers to him as Chris Park.
Oh yeah.
Because Abyss's real name is Chris Parks. So in one storyline, Eric Young goes to the offices of Park and Park, and there's nothing there. It's just like an empty room.
There's not even a table.
So yeah, and so he's not really a real attorney. So I don't know really what if they we forgot about that. We forgot about that Joseph Park really isn't an attorney. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he got himself a work visa. Yeah. And he's going to get graded some work. It'll be a good time. We'll see where it goes. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We see an interview after that with Johnny Impact. What did you think about that?
That's the normal stuff. He says what's good and what's bad. And all this biada.
He said he's never fought Loki, and he says that it's going to be an interesting match. But, I mean, the thing is that Johnny Impact is... his look and the way he moves in the ring and his presence is very charismatic, but as soon as he opens his mouth, he's not very good on the mic. Yeah. Which is odd. But I mean, he's charismatic enough that he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to talk.
Yeah.
After that we get Lashley goes into Cornette's office, and he says that he's going to fight MMA full time.
Cornette goes mad.
Yeah, Cornette gets angry. He bitches out Dan Lambert.
Get off the property.
Yeah, and Cornette grants him his release, but he says he has to face Moose in the ring. They have to talk with each other.
Yeah.
And Lashley said he has to face Moose alone, and so he agrees with that. We were talking about this, about whether Lashley is gone for real or not. I haven't heard anything about him being gone from GFW for real, but he does have a match, an MMA match, which he has to train for. That takes some preparation. It's a different type of training, so this might be a way for him to disappear from GFW for a little bit to do that. I'm predicting a Moose Bobby Lashley match at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, and I mean this all would make sense. I mean, if he has that match and he has to train for it, boom, it makes all sense. I mean, so I wouldn't be surprised if he would disappear like that.
Yeah, and the thing is that Bobby Lashley is like one of the real stars of GFW. I mean, he's like a real credible fighter. I mean, you have EC. There aren't that. I mean, there are good wrestlers in GFW. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good wrestlers there, but the ones that other people that don't watch Impact see as credible stars. I mean, it's EC3. It's probably Bobby Lashley. It's Johnny Impact now. It's Alberto El Patron. I mean, those are like the four big names. Ones, big names that you see as credible stars.
Yeah, and if Bobby goes, might feel a bit empty.
Yeah, who'd fill that void as like a dominant force? Anyway, we get back to an X Division Championship match. Falls count everywhere. They were really fighting everywhere. How did you like this match? Trevor Lee versus Sanjay Dutt for the championship. How did you like this? This is kind of the thing that you like.
This is what kind of things like. Yeah, it was. They had great strength, especially Sanjay Dutt. He was pissed. He was mad, and we know why, because he hates Trevor Lee.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah, and he had a lot of anger, and that's what I like, because anger can always convert to power, strength. So that was really good, and they were literally, like you say, fighting everywhere. Like in the audience, over there, outside the ring, outside the impact zone.
Yeah. They were fighting, hitting each other with everything, garbage cans, stuff like that.
Everything they could find around.
There must not have been any garbage cans left around for people to throw their garbage in, because Moose and Lashley started using the garbage cans later too.
Yeah, the same ones. So I think it was a really good.
And then Caleb Conley obviously gets involved.
That was. It was like in the end, right?
Yeah,
just outside Impact Zone. Come on. How is that even fair?
Because it's a false count everywhere, so it's a non-disqualification match. So all of that is.
But,
and I mean, I thought it was fun because Sanjay Dutt was getting the upper hand, and then all of a sudden, like he got crotched on a rail, and then he got bitch slammed by Conley, and he got kicked in the face,
and that was it.
And then he was rolled up, and Charlie grabs the tights and even holds on to that post, so that
it's even impossible.
Yeah. So. Trevor Lee wins. He's the new X Division champion. I think it's the fourth time he's the X Division champion, which is a big deal. I think that because I think they want to get Desmond Xavier involved because he won. Because he won the Super X Cup. So they don't really. I don't think they want Sanjay Dutt versus Desmond Xavier because they're both baby faces. So they need Trevor Lee to be there. So,
makes sense.
But I'm also thinking that the reason why, I mean, Sanjay Dutt is probably going to focus more on writing the show.
Well, yeah, you have that issue now.
So he probably, I think they probably gave him the title just because he's never held the X Division title before.
Yeah, and he stole it a couple of times.
Well, that was Trevor Lee, but I mean, Sanjay Dutt hasn't held the title. I mean, he's been in Impact forever, and he's never held the title. So I think this was kind of a way of thanking him for his long service, and he probably has no interest in being the champion right now. So.
Well, not now when he's writing, it's going to be hard.
Anyway, it was a good match. I liked it.
It was great. It was great. Good stuff.
And then your boy, Richard Justice.
Yeah. Is there anything to say about that?
He gets beaten.
No comment.
He gets beaten by American Top Team, or they kick him in the gut, and then they give him a T-shirt.
But come on,
that T-shirt wasn't going to fit him anyway.
Oh yeah, it was like size small.
Well, why would you want a T-shirt from somebody who kicked your ass?
That was what to say. I mean, was that like a sorry?
No, I think it was
T-shirt?
An insult. But anyway,
okay. I feel bad.
I mean, would you kick somebody's ass and then give them a T-shirt with your face on it?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, maybe it would.
Well,
cool.
but I feel bad for that guy. Come on, he didn't do anything wrong.
He was just warming up.
Yeah, he was warming up like forever. Oh dear. Oh.
Yeah. Then we had a promo from about Global Forged, which was basically the same thing that was online.
Yeah. I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. But we posted it on our Facebook. And this is going to be a new show, Global Forge, which is going to be about they're going to show how wrestlers train to become wrestlers. And I don't know how the show is actually going to be formated. You know, if we're going to follow a certain amount of people. How did you? I mean, what do you think about that? Is that an interesting show?
I think it could have been an interesting show because, like you say, you could see how they perform and how they get better and better after time.
Because you have NXT in the WWE, which is kind of like their developmental system where people go to kind of get better. Okay. Some of them are old TNA wrestlers that have come in that they kind of retrain for the WWE style. Some are independent wrestlers, and some are just like football players or stuff like that that they've brought in to train as wrestlers. But you don't actually ever see them train to become. You see them in matches, but you don't see them train to become. And this is actually probably you'll teach them how to be, to cut a promo and stuff like that. And Scott D'Amore, who runs the Can-Am Dojo, is a very good trainer.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you saw Marufuji was hanging out there too. Was there anybody that you thought was that guy has the look and that guy, what is he doing there?
And I would say all of them look like shit. I'm sorry.
Really? That's judgy.
Did you see in the beginning? It was like if they were taping for a movie or something. Like they were standing there and
they were cutting a promo.
Was that their promo?
I think they were just presenting themselves. I mean, yeah, sure.
So bad.
There were several of them that didn't look like they had it, and especially that guy in the end that didn't seem to have any teeth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I mean we can't. I mean, he might not have teeth. I don't know, but I'm thinking that it's not his time. He said that it was his time, but it's not. I'm sorry, it's not his time. If it's his time, then his watch is wrong. He needs a new battery for his watch because it's not his time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then the guy who was supposed to be speaking Hebrew, I think he was the guy with the Jew. He was Shlomo.
You say that's why I said all of them look like shit. I mean,
some of them had the look. I mean, they had the athletic build and stuff like that, sure. But I mean, most of them there were some the guy who was talking about us being from Australia and how many wrestlers there were.
Oh yeah, that one.
I mean, he was funny, but I mean, he is probably. I'm thinking that the reason why they have definition, muscles and stuff like that, is because they're so skinny. That's all there is. But I'm sure there are a couple there that are pretty. I mean, yeah, pretty decent. And these are probably they're probably just learning.
That's where the funny part comes in, because if this actually could become a show, it'd be really funny.
It is going to be a show.
Yeah, it would be really, really funny to watch, because then you could laugh your ass off when they're trying to actually cut the promo. It was so funny, and you have that guy without teeth trying to cut that promo. That was so. I mean, I could definitely see it as a great show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be interesting to follow, and I think we'll talk about Global Forged going forward
Yeah.
as part of this show. Yeah. Then we had Taya Valkyrie in a squash match against Amber Nova.
Yeah.
Not much to say. Amber Nova couldn't really do anything. I mean,
Did this shit.
Taya Valkyrie is like 3 times the size of Amber
She
Nova.
was, yeah. But she was. I like that.
You got a new girlfriend.
Good.
You're replacing Rosemary with Taya Valkyrie.
Replacing. I mean, but she did really. I mean, I like.
I mean, the woman's thighs are probably the size of your body.
Well, yeah,
She's huge.
But I mean, I think she could do really, really great.
Yeah, no, she's good. Yeah. The thing is that I didn't understand is like the week before Taya Valkyrie came, it said that just like with Pagano, it's like next week, like premieres next week or comes next week. But all they did was interfere in a match or come in and ran in. And so, I mean, if you're saying like next week, then you're expecting them to have a match, not like a surprise run-in.
Surprise run.
Because then it wasn't a surprise if they were there.
I don't know.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. But Taya Valkyrie, and she later confronts Karen Jarrett.
She was like, "Oh yeah, you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you should like thank me." Oh.
The thing is that Sienna is the one that's holding the Global Force Championship.
Is she gonna aim for her?
Well, I don't know. It seems like they were on the same side, so I'm thinking that Sienna's going to drop the title maybe to somebody. And then Taya Valkyrie will fight. Maybe she'll drop it to Gail Kim or something like that. And it'll be Taya Valkyrie versus Gail Kim.
Boom.
Boom.
Got a match.
Boom. 2 Canadians. 2 Canadian women fighting each other.
Again. Gotcha. Oh.
Then we had an Eli Drake promo saying that he was on another level. Says that he'll be watching the main event. I mean, he's good. I mean, I love you. Gotta love Eli Drake's promos.
I'll be honest. Yeah, he is good. He
I'm going to start every class in English with that. Let me talk to ya.
Let me talk. I mean, yeah, like you say. I mean, Eli is a good wrestler. He's a good talker, and he has the body for it. So he has pretty much all 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with
that. 3 more than I've got.
Really?
3 more than you've got, probably.
Let's move on.
So it's the main event, number 1 contenders match for, and it's Low-Ki versus Johnny Impact. How did you like this?
Once again, I mean, like I always like Low-Ki. I really like Low-Ki. He has a good strength and whatnot. But in this match,
I would have liked to see. It felt a little short. I would have liked to see more from the probably the reason why is what happens afterwards, because once this match was done, there was like another 10, 15 minutes of like the whole Lashley Moose thing. So I was hoping that this was good, they were going to give it some length and we would see more because both of these guys can go. Yeah. But it wasn't a bad match. It was a decent match, but I would have liked to see match, I would have liked to see more. Johnny Impact wins with the Starship Pain, as he calls it.
That was
good. It was good. I think I would have liked to see Low-Ki win here. It feels like they bring in Johnny Impact. He's been there for a cup of coffee, and he's already the number 1 contender. So I would have liked to see Low-Ki do it. And I mean, what would have been the harm to have a Eli Drake Low-Ki match where Eli Drake wins? Exactly. There wouldn't have been any harm in that.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. But Eli Drake and Chris Adonis come out. Adonis attacks. Johnny Impact puts him in the Adonis lock. And then Eli Drake hits the gravy train. And Johnny Impact is out.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
That was great. Like that.
And then, Lashley back in Cornette's office, just wanting to say goodbye, that he's going to the ring. And then we had a long recap and then a promo from Eli Drake about his win, and then the Taya confronting Karen Jarrett thing. Then we had Lashley in the ring.
I mean, Bobby calls him out. Moose comes out. And
He also says that he's going to MMA.
oh, yeah.
He's announcing that he's going
Yeah.
to MMA.
Uh,
And then,
What should I say?
Moose
I mean-
comes in and fights, and they fight. They fight all through the crowd.
mhm.
They use garbage cans,
Again,
everything.
yeah. Mhm.
And this was good. I mean, you could see like the hate in their eyes.
Mm.
And then the America's top team comes and attacks Moose and lays him out. They kick him, they beat him,
It's funny because previous when we were talking, I mean, here before we were talking about how Cornette said get off the property,
yeah. They
and
didn't
now they're back,
Yeah.
kicking and beating his wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I mean, this extends this feud obviously between Moose and Bobby Lashley. We'll see where it ends up. My prediction is that we're going to see a match in Bound for Glory. Maybe we will see a match at Victory Road, which is like the last kind of big event before Bound for Glory. How would you rate this show?
I mean, there were really good matches in this one,
Hmm?
so a solid B.
Solid B? Hmm?
I'd say that.
I could go along with that, a V.
Mhm.
My favorite match was actually OVE versus LAX, just because it was so different. I would have liked to see more of it.
I had that,
But yeah, overall. Not much has been announced for this week coming.
we
when
have
it comes to,
no matches really, right?
no, nothing that they've announced. I don't think, not to my knowledge. So we'll see what's going on. I don't know when they're thinking that Johnny Impact is going to face Eli Drake.
No. If it's-
My prediction is that we're going to probably see as I said, Pagano, Phantasma versus EC3 and Eddie Edwards or something like that. But that's maybe. But yeah, well, that was it for the show, and follow us on Twitter. You can watch us on YouTube.
Boom.
You can listen to us on Stitcher.
Uh-huh.
And you can listen to us on SoundCloud and all those other social media things. Just drop us a line if you like what we do. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Good song.
Good, yeah. For Nick Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Holtman, and we will talk to you next week. Let us talk to you next
Peace.
week. Bye.